What's up, guys? Thank you for joining me back here at the ShawnCast. We got the same old crew. We got Mike over here. We got Gintech. We got Dan, and we got Courtney.
Hello.
Here at the podcast, at the ShawnCast, whatever the fuck it's called at this point. Actually, today we're gonna start off with the topic that Tyler wanted to go over. I'm sorry, Gintech, that he wanted to go over. So we're gonna turn it over to him so he can explain this topic and lay the groundwork.
All right, I just wanted to talk about what? Oh, hi. Okay, no, I have a cat now.
The ShawnCast.
The official cat of the ShawnCast.
Lily wanted to interrupt. What's your subject, Lily? No? Okay, Lily, moving. Mine was about censorship and how I see not everybody, but a lot of people today more pro towards censorship as long as if it helps not hurt someone's feelings, they're willing to go very, very far in limiting what we as a society can say and do. And I feel that's wrong, because what's the point of having our rights, our freedoms, if we can lose them so easily by pretty much by committee, to just be like, oh, okay, yeah, we can't do this anymore because it hurts someone's feelings. I would rather, instead of, how do I describe this? Instead of us all going, okay, or a small group going, okay, we don't want to do this anymore, it should be, oh, those people are stupid, they're idiots, sunshine is best disinfectant. Show them being stupid, and let them be ridiculed, instead of like, oh, no, you can't do that, or lock them up, or censor them in any way, because I just think that drives them underground. And then instead of them always being able to say what they want to say and being out, it kind of lessens the blow, because eventually if you keep them underground, it'll just explode and then something worse could happen. Like, I'm not for the Klan, I'm not for like KKK or anything, but I think they should be allowed to march. Let them show themselves. Let them show themselves for the idiots they are. Like, cool, you want to march around? That's great. Like, and
you also agree
you're wrong.
You also agree that the counterparts to the Klan or whatever should march as well. Like the opposition.
Yeah, I'm not for the whole violence part of it, just on principle. But
or the hate speech.
Well, that's the whole thing. What considers hate speech? Because technically, what we get into here, it could offend someone, and then it's hate speech. Because hate speech is so, it's kind of up to anyone.
About acts of violence, like threatening acts of violence. That's hate speech to a person.
Okay, if that's that, yeah, then I'm against it.
If you're saying racial slurs, sorry, but that's part of our First Amendment. Like,
you're just you're just stupid. Like, okay, you're wrong. Like, go away. Like,
and yes. you feel like both parties should be able to, like you said, both sides. You feel like they should both be able to express what they want to do, and you feel like that's gonna highlight the problem that they have within their communities or within their groups, right?
In a way, yes.
You said that they're gonna be like, oh, that's the idiots of our community.
Like, yeah, it's instead of having them stuck on some deep dark forum on the internet yelling at each other, like, I'd rather have, let it out. Cool. Now we know who you are. Now we know who to stay away from. Like, and if you're not willing to say those things outside, then maybe you should think about what you're saying, because maybe you don't actually hold those beliefs.
And you feel like communities and like schools and stuff would actually not just so much support the conversation, but like more encourage and make it more demanding to have the conversation from both oppositional parties. You feel like they would be more for that rather than...
I think they should be, but they won't.
What do you mean?
They won't be. They don't want to do that.
Oh, that they should be, but they won't be?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're too afraid to. I just feel that we are kind of losing the whole... Yeah, we have freedom of speech, but that's, reprisal from the government.
Right.
And I think I would rather us, if we're going to censor ourselves because we want to be better than being told, hey, if you don't censor yourself, you're a misogynist, you're a racist, you should want to do it just because it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying don't, and I understand the opposite side. We're like, oh, we're trying to point that out. We're trying to show you that you're wrong. I'm like, okay.
But they're doing it in the wrong way.
I don't think you should lose your job over it. Because, like, and even that, I'm very, it depends on the thing. If you're just being an asshole, you shouldn't lose your job if it has nothing to do with your work. But
if they were unmasked, maybe not unmasked, but if they were seen at a KKK rally, is that, in your opinion, is that worth losing your job, or is that worth some sort of?
I think it depends on the job.
I agree, because
personally.
if it's
if you're dealing with kids of all different races, yeah, I'm sorry.
Or if any kind of public, any kind of public, or just any kind of public figure, especially.
But if you're running a blog, no,
right?
You're just,
because your shit's already biased.
But I mean, the thing is, though, nowadays, especially and I agree with some of what you say as far as I know it's muddy waters going into what qualifies and classifies as hate speech, because it's not, very black and white as far as it goes. There's a lot of gray to it, and there's a lot of, you can make a case that a lot of things are hate speech, but but one side says yes, the other side says no, so it's hard to nail that down.
Take it too far.
Right.
They
do. It's hard to nail it down, but I think just in the general sense of hate speech, the way I define it as something racially insensitive, gender, any kind of anything against women, anything against men, anything that discriminates against one gender or the other.
But you just did something that they won't do. You're defining it. They won't do it because
I'm not saying. I'm just
they
saying
want to add labels whenever it's convenient. Right. That's what
I'm just
don't
saying.
like.
If somebody, you have the right to say whatever you want. I feel like that's fair. But at the same point, it doesning mean that you are consequence free in saying whatever you want
I didn't
based on. No, I know. I'm just saying. But if somebody comes out and they're saying all these racist things, okay, they're allowed to say those things. People are allowed to say things back to them. And at the same time, I feel that it's appropriate for those people to face real life consequences for those things, such as, oh, hey, it blows up on Twitter and they find out, oh, this guy works at Walgreens, or this guy works here, and then they fucking, oh, hey, this is one of your employees shouting these horrible things at a KKK rally or a Trump rally or whatever the fuck it is. I feel like that's up to the employer, because now they're basically put in the hot seat of, oh, if we don't fire him, if we don't do anything and don't take action against him, then they're going to say that we're supporting his beliefs and we're supporting his speech.
Right, because they take it too far at that point in time. Not only do they want you to lose your job, but they want to force their employers to have no other option. But what if the employer doesn't really give a fuck? What if he's like,
they want to try to ruin their life? You got to have a moral compass with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right really now, it's so one-sided. At least that's how I feel. When it's them screwing up, when it's I would say the more SJW side, when it's them screwing up, like that kid who he didn't like what the other protesters were saying. I've seen where he spin kicked. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, the viral video.
What the hell? What you think because you're on quote unquote the right side of history
doesn't mean you get to assault someone.
Yeah.
That's not fair. You should if you're gonna yell that they deserve consequences, fine, you do too. And then these people cry about it. It's like, no, we just did the same thing you did. Mm-hmm. How about maybe rethink what you're doing, and to the other side, have some empathy. You and me, we don't always agree. Most of the time, we don't. But I at no point, I don't think I've ever been
always, and again,
fuck you, we're done.
Have we had
heated arguments?
Fuck.
What?
I said you've never spun kick him either. What the fuck?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've always been civil.
Yeah, we've
discussing
all had, civil.
But at the same time, we've known each other for a while, so that's a little bit different. We're friends. We've known each other. We're more comfortable in being able to say whatever we say and be like, all right, cool, whatever, dude.
But don't sell yourself short there, because we didn't when we first moved in. When we first moved in together, we didn't know each other very well, and we still had conversations like that.
No, yeah. I mean, that's just.
We also know how
certain people are wired differently. Like me,
Right.
I'm kind of. I'll listen to anything you say. Like I'm always kind of open-minded for the most part. Like, yeah, there are things that I've set for myself as far as like this is what I believe, but there's a lot of gray because of so much shit in the world. But I'll still listen to the other side as long as you're being like thoughtful and you're making some sort of sense. I can see where you're coming from, kind of thing. Like
Even
if you're just
Yeah.
spouting out all this shit that I'm just like, no, dude, like build that wall. We need close the borders. We need to do all this shit. I'm like, all right, like.
Why though?
But if we're actually having like thoughtful conversations and you're bringing up like when we have our gun debates, because we're very different on gun debates. When we talk about it, like
right.
you're actually
correct.
you're
wrong.
you give me a hard time. You give me a hard time because like I get stuck in a spot where I'm like, okay, well I know I get almost caught up on, okay, how do I argue this, because I try this way, and we kind of go back and forth as far as like I say one thing and then you counter it with something, and I'm like, all right, even though I don't agree with it, that I can see how I can
like,
that makes sense. Yeah. But I'm just seeing it differently than you. So
but that's the same way it is with you. Like I'll argue something, and then you just counteract it, and I'm like, I get where he's coming from. Like I definitely get that.
But at least you guys can see both sides.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people in these committees, as Tyler Gentech put it, that they don't see the other side. They don't want to empathize. They don't want to try to be open-minded.
They don't want to have that conversation, and that's a problem.
Because they know that there's one other side to it, and they don't want to have to try to accept it.
Well, it's more simpler than that, I think, Courtney. That would take a thought process on either side, and they don't want to do that. That would take effort.
Yeah, they just want to be mad and say, "Oh, I'm right. Deal with it."
Because I see it from the right all the time, where the right is a lot of slogans. At least right now, it's nice, crisp, 3-4 second sound bites.
Crisp.
Where the left is
demands
reaction. Yeah, it's reaction. It's and I feel bad even saying the right and left, because a lot of these are far.
These are extremist left, extremist rights,
and they at least for me, I think I've said this before on the podcast. It's ruined both sides for me. Right? I don't want to be on either side, because I'm like, look at this. This is ridiculous, and neither of you guys are saying anything.
Yeah.
Like,
because it gets to a point where you see both parties, and you're like, okay, so this is my problem. What do you guys got? And they go in circles, and then you're like, that doesn't solve anything that I wanted to know. Thank you very much, guys.
Let me just kind of put it this way. I just thought about this in my head, and it kind of makes sense to me, but we'll see if it makes sense when I put it into words. But it's like choosing. It's like, all right, choose your vice kind of thing. Like, oh, are you a drinker or you're a smoker? On the drinking side, you're like, oh, I like drinking. You could be a casual drinker. You could be, a daily drinker. You could be an experienced drinker. But you're like, oh, I'll go with the drinking side because I like drinking. Mm-hmm. You get over there and you're expecting like, oh, maybe I'll have a couple beers, maybe a mixed drink, I'm good. You get over there and everybody's fucking taking 6 tequila shots and fucking
and you're just like,
and doing fucking keg stands, and you're just like, whoa,
I just wanted
like,
a White Claw.
Yeah. Can I just get like an Angry Orchard? Like I got to get up early in the morning. It's just like you get over there, maybe like, oh, I agree with a lot of this, and you get over there and you're like, whoa, okay, you guys are going like way too hard on this drinking thing.
Don't ever have a job and just party all your life.
You're not supposed to go by giant bottles like how much you drink. Like,
so that was kind of a shitty explanation.
No.
It's just one way to kind of think about it. Is like most people get into it like me. For a long time, I've always said I'm independent because I agreed with some things on the left, some things on the right. Blah blah.
I think that's how most people are.
Yeah. But I'm mostly left, but I'm not like far left.
Yeah, it's like
so that's
like
where I find.
Yeah, you don't.
It's like how you put it, where you put it like your center. Yeah. Your center, and then Tyler, you said he was center. He's center left.
I'm probably center right.
Oh, I mean center right. Yeah,
I'm probably more center right.
I'm more right than you are, though. I'm a little bit more conservative than you are, but I'm still more in the center.
That's so funny the way you said that. I'm more right than you are. Like, yeah, goddammit, I'm more right.
He meant it both ways.
Right.
No, and I just want to just like maybe like a specific thing. I personally have a problem with, and oh my god, to everyone else on the podcast, I'm sorry, because if anyone hears this and they have a problem, like, just hear me out before you freak out.
Bear with us.
Feminism.
Oh boy. No.
See, my version of feminism, we should be treated equally.
But
Not-
really equally though?
Yes, equally. A girl can go out and do construction
first
work
and second-
just like a man.
That's
A
first
guy-
and second wave feminism.
But hang
That's pretty
on.
much
we
what you're
shouldn't.
going
It
for.
But the
shouldn't be
problem-
women are not superior to men. I'm sorry. Yes, we can do things differently.
But when that pickle jar comes, yo.
I can open a pickle jar by myself.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I understand that, but I'm just saying
Sean's over
that
there.
we
I'm
can
joking.
both do those things. It's not one side or the other. You know. I'm sorry. Like,
Yes,
It
but
should be-
here's a problem with a lot of that. Especially what you were saying that a few minutes ago, Dan. I'm gonna need you to move your Pluto-sized head. the other way.
right? That's kind of hard.
So,
It's hard to see here.
so
God
what bothered
damn.
me about what you said before, you said that every girl and every man should be able to work in the same construction job, or every man or every woman.
And that was just an example because that's usually a male job, right?
Right. But let's take that example. The problem with that is that certain
Wait.
girls, and I'm not saying you.
Quick question. Are women not allowed to do construction?
No.
Oh my gosh. They're clearly. Let Sean tell me what he's trying to say real quick.
They are allowed
I get
to,
it,
but
though.
primarily it's a
No, I get that, but that kind of makes sense. But
But
it's a
that's-
male-oriented job. Like what a lot of people don't realize is that what is it? Culinary is a primarily male job. It's not a female job. It's a primarily male job. But anyway, back to the whole
But
construction thing.
to counter on the culinary job, women are supposedly in the kitchen, right?
yeah.
So
Even
they
though-
would have more experience.
Even though
cooking.
even though it's a primarily
But
male
that
job.
brings
or-
me back to my point. You think it's
Sorry.
brings me back to my point. Yes, construction's usually a male job, but there's also women that bust their ass
Right.
working that job, just
but
like
most-
there's men busting their ass to
house,
cook in the
but-
kitchen.
Right, but there's
shouldn't
most-
be a gender role for a job.
But most feminists nowadays will complain about that and think that they.
That's because they're bitches and don't want to do the hard
Exactly,
work,
but
and
that's-
that's
bothers us.
She said it. None of
She
us said
but
it.
that's our point though. They're like, oh, we should be equal. Okay, cool. Well, then
yeah,
go
but they
lift those
don't
pallets.
want
Oh,
they
well,
don't want the
where's my help?
responsibility of being equal. They don't want to take on
Right.
that extra responsibility of being an actual adult
She said it.
Yeah, she
like a
said
male.
But
I'm
that-
sorry.
and that's our point.
No, because
said
how they use the moniker of feminism, but they mean what they want is egalitarianism.
Yeah.
But they don't want to use that word. It's like, oh no, that's feminism. Like, no, femme, that's women. Like you,
We are
already have
not
a word
superior.
for it.
Yes, granted,
if
we
you-
can give birth to a child, but whoop-de-damn-do, that's not really a success. Like, I'm sorry.
don't know, kinda
Eventually,
big-
it destroys our bodies, and you know what?
Breaking
hurts like
news: local woman deems childbirth not a success. Back to you.
Well, I
And
mean,
the thing is,
someone had you,
Courtney,
so.
the thing is, there's a lot of
Love you, babe.
them in the feminist party right now would say you are sucking up to us.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
want
that
to
you have-
suck up.
no,
I want to
they-
be
they would
treated
say that
equally.
You don't have
that you're
your
bowing
own
to the
thoughts.
patriarchy.
And you know-
so if you don't follow their,
I'm sorry. I want to be a hardworking adult where I can be independent, pay my own bills
because you
without
gotta-
having to rely
Right.
on anything.
You gotta do what you gotta do. A lot of
Exactly. I know how to
people-
buckle down and work hard to get what I need.
A lot of people have the mentality of the whole 1950s family where the man is the only one.
And
that
that's what
provides.
pisses me off.
It's like, and nowadays you need to have that team.
Yeah, it should
team
be a
mentality.
team. It should be co. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
anything. Oh, mother stays at home with the children and raises the kids. Well, I'm sorry.
unless
She's going to
with-
be
with that-
resentful of the father
well-
because she can't do.
not just
But
that,
she-
Unless she
virgin.
wants to do it.
yeah, unless she wants to do it, or it comes out.
Because I know
For
some girls that
cheaper
are like that.
Oh,
if
and
the
I
mom
don't
stays
mind
home,
Okay.
Yeah, if the mom stays home, sometimes it's cheaper for the mom to stay home and not work
Instead of a
And-
and then
daycare
daycare
or
because they
yeah.
literally
Oh
make
yeah, because
more money
daycare
out there,
rapes you.
because that's-
Daycare
yeah.
flat out
But they-
rapes
it's not
you
making
with the
more money,
prices.
they just have more
And
money
that's
left
fine.
over.
Yeah.
Also in the
Yeah.
quality,
Be in your
of
kid's
mother,
life.
because there's some mothers that are complete shits, and the dad is like way better at being a parent.
And I mean that's just how
should
it
be
is
doing-
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
it's
because people don't they don't want to stand. They don't want to step up to what the responsibilities of they have. What they
with all
have.
that, with like the I at least I see it, and this could be biased. Like, this is just me. I've
Do you have
seen
penis?
so
Most likely
many,
it is.
so many of the things I've seen with that side. They're mad that they don't have the CEO jobs, the high end secretary jobs. Like, it's like
Those
I
take
don't ever
years
qualify
of
for
hard
that.
work.
I don't ever see them yelling about, oh, I don't get to be a miner. I don't get to be a trash collector. You don't see that. And it's
The
like,
everyday
hey, like,
jobs.
they don't want those
Because
they
they think,
want the high end
because they
easy
think
jobs.
because they think that CEO job or that executive job is easy.
Yeah.
They think that those jobs are easy. It's not easy. It's just
Well,
as hard.
some of them
It's not.
are easy.
It's not
Some of them
glor.
are easy,
But
some of them are easy.
they want the
They want the easy
high-
jobs, but the
yeah,
problem
with
They
is
want
high
the
money.
glorified jobs.
Yes.
yeah, but the problem is that those jobs are not that easy, dude. To have that much pressure on your shoulders,
Yeah,
it's a
no.
lot of fucking
If you're
problems.
CEO, I'm talking just. They even want to just be like the secretary, like they don't want to have
Oh,
the.
yeah.
Still, that's a
they
lot of
want-
stress on them.
But
They want to. They
They-
want to get
but they
paid
get
for.
paid for
They
it.
want to get paid for doing nothing. That's what they
Yeah.
want to do, and that's not how
and
the world
it's
flies.
and it's not all women, because most women don't get that luxury. And I understand if you're fighting for what you see as your people to get better off, you're gonna want the best for them. That's great, but you should also fight for the ones who are like, hey, I'm never gonna be able to do that. I have to work at the store. I
Yeah.
have to go work as, I don't know, the miner, the
I have to
garbage
go to a
collector.
factory and pack shit.
Where are you there?
Yeah.
You're not there. Like, and yes, there is differences between men and women. They've shown that in studies over and over and over, where women they actually gravitate, even in the STEM fields, the more nursing side, because to deal with the patients. Where the males, they do the mathematics, they do everything else, or they're the doctors, or they're the pharmacy people, where they don't have to interact with people, but they'll do all the medical stuff. They're building the machines, because it's not like, oh, that's sexist, the women are driven towards. Like, no, this is
No,
where
it's what you're good at.
it's
If
what
you
they
don't have
want
the
to do.
compassion to deal with the patients, don't do it.
Yeah,
It's
That's
not
just being a human.
It's
like,
not even just that. It's because the fact that we think on more of a logical side rather than a more emotional side.
It's
that's
not-
a fact.
it's not like, oh, and then they're like, oh, it's the patriarchy making men do certain things. Is there toxic masculinity?
yes.
Some stuff,
and there's
yes.
toxic feminism too.
Yes, but to say
said
that
that.
everything men are, we are raised to be, is all toxic masculinity is wrong. In the
Yeah,
same way
no.
with the toxic femininity, it's not the same thing. There's levels, yes.
But here, going back to what you were talking about, the whole high-end secretary. Yeah, they want to be a high-end secretary until their boss, the CEO, comes on and says, "Hey, I need you to do this and this and this."
Yeah,
and this
then
and this.
no, they don't
And then
want
they're
to
like,
actually do
well,
it.
we should be treated equal, just like you.
You
No,
are.
bitch, I fucking
No.
own the company.
No,
You're
be
gonna do
like,
what the
cool.
fuck I say.
We are equal. I'm the CEO. If you don't want to do this, I'll hire someone else.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world.
If you don't want to, yeah, we are equal. If you don't want to do this, I'll hire whoever the fuck it is. I don't care if they're alien, fucking boy, girl, doesn't matter. As long as they get the job done. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Like, if you're gonna, if you want to be in the workforce, you have to be in the workforce, not, oh, this is the job I choose. Yeah, everyone chooses their job in a way, but you should be, if you're gonna be in the position, you should be required to be able to handle the position for what the position needs, not change it because we have different parts. That's
Right.
not fair.
Yeah.
Like, if your position has nothing to do with you being a male or a female, then you should be held to the exact same standards. That's only fair.
Yeah, just like, again, going back to like the construction, that's why it's mostly male, because they're more built and suited for hard labor, long hours, sitting in the sun, doing all that shit.
what we're
Most
evolved
women,
for.
most women can't handle that. Like, some can, and they can do that,
We can
but
handle pressure a lot better. than
they're
the
better
average
suited for other positions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not, and it's just and it's not, when I hear it, everyone's like, oh, it's the patriarchy giving us our gender roles. I'm like, not necessarily. Like,
It's what
we are-
you're built for. I mean,
we are
if you can work in construction as a woman, go for it. Go kick some ass. But like they said, men are physically built for hard labor, stuff like that. Just throughout time, it's just part of evolution. But at the same time, women can still bust
And at
their
the same
asses.
time, it's not all men. Like,
No,
No.
and it's not.
there's a lot of
No.
I can't do I couldn't do construction all the time. Like,
Yeah, dude, fuck
if
it.
I was in better
Neither
shape
can
and
my
I did
brother.
that, like, yeah,
He's a
I
tiny
maybe
little
did.
twig.
But
He
you're
sits better
expected
behind a
to.
computer,
Right. But at the same time, like,
and it shouldn't be expected.
it's not always based on genders. Like,
Yeah.
there's guys that are just built for that kind of shit. Like, they can do that shit. Other guys can't.
I know I've mentioned
Some
this
women
on-
can, some women can't.
I know I mentioned this on the podcast. Like one of the girls that I hooked up with, we were trying to actually develop a relationship, but her dad was against it because I didn't know anything about cars. I knew how to cook, I knew how to do all that stuff, but she knew about cars. So I was like, that works perfectly. You know, you do that shit, and I'll do the.
This
cooking shit.
motherfucker's putting requirements on his daughter's pussy. What the fuck?
I
That's
guess.
a little.
That's any dad. Are
that's
you
a little
kidding
fucking
me?
weird.
No, that's
I mean, I get it, but like
Yeah.
putting like legit
Like restrictions
requirements.
on it?
That's
Yeah.
a little weird. to
It's
me.
like, oh, you have to. He has to be the. He has to be the man. He has to do the fucking auto stuff and everything like that. I'm like, I don't know shit about that. And if she knows it, why can't she just do it?
Yeah.
If she knows
There's
it, she
nothing
should
wrong
be
with
able to do it. It's part of a team. I do the shit that she doesn't know how to do. Even if you classify it as a girly shit, fuck it, I'll do the girly
That's how I
shit.
always
And
found
that's
with
why you
her.
should
I'm like,
teach each other. That way you both can learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That way we all can survive in a unit.
Yeah.
That's how I've always been with you. Like, hey, do you know how to do this? Yeah, okay. Like,
So many times. And I've come to you with technology shit. Tyler, fix this.
did you push the button? No. Okay.
Push this button.
Did you connect the cord? Yeah. Okay, connect the cord.
Like, it should be
That's me though.
just whoever can do the best job. Like, whoever can do merit based. And I've heard so many people are pissed off. Shouldn't be merit based.
Yes, it
merit-based.
should.
It's like, no.
If you can do
Why
that
would
job,
you-
what
do
else?
it.
What else would you be basing this off
what else would it
of?
be based on?
Your
I'm-
race, your gender. I'm like, that has nothing
What
to
you
do
believe
I'm not
in.
gonna hire a white guy if the black guy has 3 degrees and fucking is way better at the job than you. I'm gonna hire that guy. Same thing. I'm gonna hire a woman. Say what?
Mike
Hi, my name's
out
Mike.
of the picture here, laughing his ass off.
No, if you're Asian, if you're fucking whatever, dude, if you're from fucking goddamn like Mars, if you're better qualified for the job, I'm gonna hire you.
No, if she can work on the oil fields longer and do a better job than you can, guess what? You don't
She's
get
gonna
to
get the
work here
job.
anymore. Like,
You're not gonna
That's how
work
it
here.
should be.
Sorry.
Why-
Become useful.
it's a different thing I've heard is they don't like they think that men don't size other men up like in the workforce.
Bullshit.
Like,
We do all the time.
yes,
We do.
like
Oh.
you have
That's,
to
like,
make
the
sure that you're
biggest thing.
competent.
The only
Like when, especially when you first go in, all right, show me what you got, or guess what, you don't, you know, all of a sudden, oh yeah, sorry, we forgot to tell you about the meeting, or sorry, we didn't give you the scoop on this or that, or it's just how it is.
I
I've heard
feel that's
so many
just any
things.
person,
Yeah,
though,
it
if they're
should
not
be.
included. If they
But
feel that they're not
That's
doing
what it
enough
should
in
be,
the
and
work.
they get mad at it. They get mad. They're like, "Oh, men don't have to go through this." Like, no,
We
men
do.
have to go through it all the time.
yeah.
I feel.
Like, you have to be
I don't know.
competent.
I
Like,
can't
yeah,
speak,
usually
but I
once
feel
once you like prove yourself, it's can be like become like a brotherhood in a family, and you're like you're all chill and you're like rah rah blah blah blah.
But you gotta earn your
prove yourself
stripes.
first. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're not always gonna. You walk in there and they're gonna be like, all right, what the
But
fuck
they
is this?
think they think as we're men, like when a dude walks in, we're all just like, "Okay, man, you automatically get everything." It's like, and then woman, no, you don't get anything. It's like, no, it's. like
Actually,
we're all
everyone.
competitive.
Actually, if you think about it, it's even worse for men because we're used to being the alphas. So we go into a situation with a bunch of guys. You don't know who the fuck the alpha is out of every guy. You have to figure it out. But the problem is that with women, they're not okay with finding the alpha because they all want to be the alpha. We just want to find the alpha. After that, everybody else falls in line.
Yep.
Everybody else falls in line. Whether we like it or not, we all fall in line. And like the women won't. Even if you're at the bottom of the totem, you'll still want to fight for the front and the top.
And guys do that too, but it's different. It kind of gets a little bit more calm.
It's not even that we want to fight for the top. It's we want to fight to feel that we're equal to you guys because
Wow,
we're
feminist
always.
Courtney standing up.
No. I was talking about
Shut up! I was in the kitchen making a quesadilla.
No, I was talking about the how girls fight amongst themselves. They don't want to find the alpha in their own group.
Are you kidding? Yeah, they do.
No, they all want to be
to be.
They all want to be the alpha. They don't want to find the alpha. Guys want to find the alpha because then the rest will fall in line.
And usually after the battle is over of being the alpha, they all fall in line. It's not necessary. It's whoever can be the biggest bitch.
On women? No,
yes.
dude.
From my experience,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
But
You
Courtney,
you
yours
see it
takes
from
like
that.
months. Ours takes like a couple hours.
Exactly, and that's what I feel is pointless because it shouldn't take months. We should all just be agreeing to disagree and a compromise on what's best for everyone.
That's how the instinctual brains go throughout even different species. In dogs, not that I'm comparing dogs to people or dogs to women, dogs to men, doesn't matter.
What's up, dog?
What's up, dog? In dogs, male dogs are the same way. They want to find the alpha. As soon as they find the alpha, everybody else falls in line. The women, all they're gonna do is just bicker. That's the same reason why you see like my cats, why you see like Athena and Lily always fighting, because they want to bicker and bicker. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. So yeah,
She keeps making side remarks over
The camera's
At the-
picking up all that, by the way.
at the microwave.
Thanks, guys.
it's all right. Microwave brought to you by ShawnCast.
Brought to you by
ASMR stream.
Yeah.
Dope. I'm down with that.
Yeah, no, I just with the censorship thing, we can kind of go back to that. I see it on the right too.
Oh, just let her give her a piece.
Oh, God.
No, the thing, I just want to go back real quick
And
to
cut the
Sean's thing. It's not necessarily just bicker. It's we're trying to see we're trying to make them understand our side. It's not anything of, yeah, it is kind of a power trip too, but it's trying to understand the other person.
It's like 95% a power trip.
From your perspective.
No, from every perspective.
Are you a woman? Can
No.
you tell me that? Then no, you can't tell me from every perspective. From my perspective, it's not that. It's trying to get the other side's point across. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of women now are very naive with things, and it should.
Now?
Especially now. How about whatever? You may feel that, but there's a lot of other very smart women. I'm sure more smart.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not.
Well, that's the way it made it sound, but whatever. So it's not necessarily the full power trip. It's trying to understand each other. Because, yeah, it's probably not the best way to do it because we do think emotionally versus logically 90% of the time. But it's the same process that the males go through, just in a very expanded time frame.
Good, she stopped talking.
Fuck you.
Just kidding, Courtney. No, it's like, I don't know, with this, I was going back to the censorship thing, even on the right, they don't like, if, pretty much now, it's, if you're not 100% Trump all the way 2020, you don't get a voice anymore, which is just as stupid, which I think is just as wrong.
Yeah.
Like, how
Pretty
is
much.
that fair? What if you're just a Republican on the right being like, hey, you know, I like guns, I'm religious, I'm against abortion, I'm, you know, smaller government, all that stuff. Oh, do you like Trump? No, I think we should have went with someone else. Oh, you fucking liberal! And you're like, no! Like, you can't just lump everyone that's not for Trump. It's
because now you have those tribe mentalities, dude. With those tribe mentalities.
now.
Well, okay, yes, forever. But especially at this moment in time, the tribe mentality is so much more predominant in most people that it's hard to break away from that. They have to be. They're like a bunch of football fans. Seriously, that's like the closest I can compare them to. They're a bunch of football fans, where they're constantly like, "Oh, you don't like this team? Fuck you!" It's like, why? Why do we have to go immediately to fuck you instead of, well, this is why I like my team. Well, this is why I like my team. Oh, I didn't know your team had that. Oh, yeah.
And I just based off your point, Sean, not everyone has to be civil all the time, but
Of course.
we should at least try, and we're not even trying anymore.
Yeah.
It's so divided. Like,
It's
you
straight
can't-
from
if
1
you
to
don't
100,
believe what I
it's-
believe, we're done. And that's not okay. That's not how you develop ideas. If science was like that, we'd still be in huts.
Yeah. Yep. That's very true.
What do you think, Dan?
I tuned out. Sorry.
Cool, good insight. Thank you. That's really you and Lily. Just that entire side of the couch over here. Just nothing. Thanks. Cool. So next topic.
Hey, he was. Never mind, Dan. You're exhausting. I don't know. I think you can't be so gung ho to pick a side. You have to listen to the whole conversation with everybody. I think you have to. I think you have to listen to it, and the fact that a lot of people are predominantly saying that now podcasts are one of the only means of getting that conversation in.
Yeah.
I think that's actually kind of a sad point.
Kind of.
It's really a sad point. It is a sad point that you leave it up to non-experts and people who have a shaky opinion at best to have those conversations that these intellectuals, that these politicians are supposed to have. They don't. I don't know. To me, that's just completely shocking in that aspect. What do you think, Mike?
I think that it's just.
I was so hoping you were going to say yes.
Right? No.
Yes.
No, I just. I think that it's just we can't trust the media at all anymore because everything is bought, and they always portray everything in their own viewpoint. So like there could be a whole big walk that we're doing for something that we're standing for, and then or we don't believe in. But then they'll portray like a small portion of maybe some people were arguing, and they'll portray that portion. But if you look outside of it, you're actually seeing everybody peacefully walking to where they're trying to go, and not try and get anyone hurt. They just want to get their point across. But they're going to pinpoint how they want it to look like in a negative manner for the views. The more views they have, the more money they're making.
They're going to skew it to fit whatever
narrative,
narrative they're trying to push.
That's both sides.
Both sides,
100%,
absolutely.
100%.
I mean,
and that's what pisses me off so much is because I see it on the right all the time because a lot of times anything bad is going on with Trump. They're like, oh, let's talk about Hillary's emails. Let's dig those bitches up again. Like those motherfuckers have ran out of they've ran out of ideas, so they just keep rehashing the same shit. But I see on the left too is they'll just kind of harp on one thing or focus on one thing, and you're like, hey guys, there was 3 mass shootings.
Mm-hmm.
Can we
Actually, I'm okay if they don't talk about that because the way they talk about it, it's like, oh, would you like to glorify the shooter more? Like they keep saying, oh, we shouldn't do that, but here's his name and address and family, and it's like,
I remember
and he has 1,000 followers on Instagram.
so many mass shootings ago that they were saying we're not going to release the names and shit,
and
but they still do on both sides.
There's reporting the news and then what they're doing. There's reporting hey, a mass shooter sadly, killed this many people at this place. We'll have continuing coverage. No, they're like, oh, we'll go in and talk about how they did it, and it's like, and who they were, and all this. It's like, guys, stop.
And also,
how to get past the security so the other shooters will know.
And also, the news, the people who deliver the news make it sound like it's like they're personally. Okay, let me put the. How do I put this? That they're
hurt by it.
Yeah, not just hurt, but straight victims. There's no solution. Oh, it's just terrible. That sucks. How about you have some news broadcasters why are we letting this happen? Why is this still going on?
You'll see it. You'll see it. I've seen it.
I'd rather have it the opposite.
The way you're talking about.
I want the news to just be the news. I don't want their opinion. I don't want them to be like,
it's not
we should go for gun control.
No. It's not an opinion.
I want it just. This is what happened. This is what the politicians are saying. This is. What
that's the problem. Is that's where most people get their political views is from whatever news they listen to.
But
so
not even,
if they listen left, if they listen right, they're like, oh, gun control. Oh, fuck gun control. We need to go with mental health, even though they don't support mental health either. But
they like to say the words.
They're like, oh, what do we say? What's the problem here?
No, but
video games are the problem.
I'm not talking about giving an opinion because that's exactly what they're doing right there. When they do that, and they say, "Oh, it's video games. Oh, it's it's TV. It's that." That's giving an opinion. I want them to just be like, "Why is this happening? Why? What are we doing? What's going on?
What should we do?" And then
what should we do?
Leave it up to the other people.
Yeah, what should we do? We need to do something. You know what I mean? Whether it's one way or not, whether it's gun control or whether it's not gun control, whatever it is, pose that question.
It'd
What are
be
we
cool
doing?
if they pointed out with like which politicians are able to actually change something about
Yeah.
it and be like,
These
you
are
know,
the people that
these are
can
the
do something
guys on
about
the
it. Go
committee.
contact.
That's
them.
the funny thing
this
is
the guy on the committee.
I see it on Twitter all the time. Like anytime there's a mass shooting, anytime there's something about Trump coming out, and they're like, and then you see these Republican senators kind of like the way they dance the fine line between
they're
saying
stuck
something
now.
and not saying
Those
anything
guys
is
are
kind of
stuck,
funny.
'cause
But
if they
a
go-
lot of times, as far as like the mass shootings go, they'll be like, "Oh, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers,"
yeah.
and everybody in the comments are just fucking roasting him like, "Oh, fuck you, you voted, you're getting paid by the NRA, but blah blah."
Exactly.
And then when it comes to Trump, the same thing is, "Oh, do something about it." You like they're like, "Oh, this administration is doing things that I think might be kind of
Like, you
bad,
mean you?
but not enough for me to actually say anything because I got my balls in his purse," kind of shit.
Yeah.
And everybody in the comment is fucking do something, you fucking spineless piece of shit. Like it's fucking hilarious. I mean, it's sad and fucked up, but
Or like
it's
the
kind of
stupid
hilarious.
fucking addresses. Oh, we need to rally together as a nation. No, how about you go to the nation and go, dude, we need to stop this. We need to fucking stop now.
We need to have the actual data. Just look at it.
Yeah.
Because
Or just have them literally look at the camera and be like, I have no clue what the fuck to do. It's up to you.
or no, if
Figure
they,
it out.
Or just be like, cool.
Let me know.
You guys keep talking about mental health. All right, we've gathered together the council for all that stuff. I'm gonna go talk to them. Monday we're gonna get the budget. We're gonna see how much they spend. See what it would take to double it. Like if the spending if doubling the spending would help, or if they need more people. Like see what actually is going on instead of just mental health, or take the guns away. Or like,
So
okay,
do something about it.
like then go to the gun people. Be like, hey, let's say we took them all away. Do we have any data showing that this stuff is gonna go down? Yes, no, like you know what I mean.
Most other countries that have done gun reform.
But the problem is they have increase in stabbings and vehicle deaths. This is way off topic, but just saying, like,
Oh my god! You are not comparing gun stabbing. You're not comparing stabbings. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Jesus
terrible.
Christ.
You didn't shoot him, like.
Right. I didn't kill him with my gun per se.
It's a
it was
mass
the
killing. At a school.
bayonet.
What did they use? A knife. Oh, that's not a mass killing. What do you mean?
They stabbed like what? 3 people? Get the fuck out of here!
it's a 3 kill streak.
Oh
Oh
Jesus!
God.
Kill
Mike.
streak.
You can't even get a UAV for that shit. That's
Oh
no,
god!
No white phosphorus.
Oh no!
Oh
You don't get the
And
remote
all
control.
of a sudden, Courtney didn't want to be in the podcast.
Well, and honestly, it's sad though because some
We're all going to hell.
some shooters out there literally like watch the news and they'll see like, oh, this person killed 10 people. Oh, I want to beat him. And I
friends.
honestly, because I saw
We don't laugh, but that's true.
it's true.
Yeah.
I was watching
You are
some
the
like
kill leader.
Yeah.
You laughed and then God, yeah.
I was watching some video about like shooters and people that were plotting on killing people and got caught before they did it, and like just a mix of them. And there was this one kid that was saying it. He's like, I want to beat that person. I want to beat Columbine. I want to be, and that's their goal, is to get their name glorified for, plotting it, getting the weapons, preparing, figuring out the day you're going to do it, and then executing it.
They just want to be famous.
Yeah.
Like even though
a demented
it's
way.
for a bad thing, they don't give a fuck.
Bro, be like these other fuckboys. Take a picture in front of a Lamborghini. You'll be fine. That'll be good. It'll be cool.
Yeah, drive down to the fucking W Scottsdale Hotel. They got nice ass cars valeted. I did that shit. You fucking pose up with a nice Ferrari or a
He's like,
fucking
boom, 200
Lambo,
followers, like that.
Porsche, bro. Like, dude, they got nice ass cars. Go to the W Scottsdale. Don't shoot it up. Don't do nothing like that. But go. I'm
Be
just
good
gonna
to
stop.
yourself. Take care of yourself,
Stop.
bro.
No, just in general,
Show your ass
With-
a little. I mean, whatever.
with either side, I feel bad for the people who aren't so far one way and they're stuck being told, hey, if you want to vote in the primaries, you have to be a Democrat or you have to be a Republican. I understand they make the rules, which I think is bullshit. I think independents should be allowed to. Like in Arizona now, we're allowed to, independents, or at least me, are allowed to vote in the Democratic primary
aren't you
now.
special?
It just happened.
Just the Democratic? Not
Yeah.
Well, I
The-
mean, yes,
the
they're
Republicans aren't
they're
even
not going to
having
have
one.
one because they're just
Yeah.
going to give it to Trump. But yeah, okay.
But like,
Huh?
I think that should have
Should
to
be
be. I think
by
that should be
people
in their
for the
bylaws.
people.
And again, I agree with what you're saying because, like, yeah, there should be a third option that's actually viable. That's the problem,
Like
though. Like,
Britain, they have, like,
not
40
necessarily.
parties.
Oh yeah, right. Not necessarily that it's like. Not that it's like the people's fault that we don't have a third option. It's the way it's set up. It's literally
Well, it wasn't
one
set
or
up
the
that way.
other, or throw your vote away. Like
Yeah.
that's just the reality
Well,
of it.
it wasn't set up that way. George Washington tried to stop it, but everyone after him made sure to have that divide. And
Yeah.
it's not meaningful. I don't just personally, I've never seen what either party has ever done for me, so why would I give them my vote? Like what are they actually doing? They
Like
just
what I said
they just speak a lot.
Like what I said about the last presidential election when you guys were telling me, "Oh, are you gonna vote?" And I said, "No, give me a candidate that I feel is worth voting for, and I will." Until then, there's no point for me, at least.
But you can still vote for local shit.
Yeah, other stuff.
Propositions, local
local
government
shit,
shit, you know. You don't have, you could just leave the presidency blank. You could vote for governor and shit like that. Proposition, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever you think that- whatever you actually think will help
I'm always on the
yourself.
side of voting because how often do we actually get to have a say? Like
Who was-
that's way bigger than most countries
Right.
even get.
Who was that guy
Yeah.
that ran
Yeah.
in the last election? Gary.
Gary Johnson.
Oh, Gary
Was it Gary
Johnson.
Johnson? His fucking petty ass when they were talking about the weed thing and he fucking fell out on stage.
Yep.
Oh my god, dude, that was the funniest shit ever. Did you ever see that?
No,
Where they were
You never
talking about
saw that?
how,
no,
where they were talking about it.
That's who you voted for, wasn't it?
No.
You didn't vote for
Yeah.
Gary Johnson?
Stuff like that.
They
Wait,
said
no.
Really?
I wrote in Bernie Sanders. I think
they said it.
Oh, I thought
They
you voted
said
so did I.
they were on a talk show, right?
I voted for Gary
I
Johnson.
might have.
They were on a talk
Either
show.
that or I wrote.
I'm pretty
it.
sure you did because I think you told
Yeah.
me. And
They were on a talk show and they were talking about people who have used marijuana have an increase of heart attack. Like what did they say? Some ridiculous like 80% increase of heart attack in the first 2 hours. And then Gary
Bullshit.
Johnson grabs his chest and falls on the ground.
That's
I was
great.
like, you petty bitch.
That's great.
You fucking petty bitch.
Because it's not true.
Well,
So and that also pointed out A, he's used marijuana, and B, he's high as fuck during that whole interview. He's talking, he's high as
it's
fuck.
like, especially with the Democratic Party, especially their last showing. I'm good at how they screwed over Bernie.
Oh
I was pissed at him. I
Even
understand why
Trump
he
looked
went
at him
to
and
the
said, "Why did you
Democrats."
guys do that shit?" Because
Yeah, I
he would have
would've
actually,
lost.
yeah, I would have lost.
No,
yeah.
I was mad that Bernie afterwards he went more to the Democratic Party because he kind of back then he ran as an independent.
independent, yeah.
But I in a way I understand, but still, like
I
you
mean,
should've
Trump
done that.
ran as Democratic before, and then he switched over to Republican.
Yeah,
No, he just said-
people are able.
I don't
to
think he
switch
ran
up.
Democrat. I think
No,
he
he
just said
didn't.
No,
No,
like
he
not
said
like
he would.
run
was a
at as, but
Democrat.
saying like
Right.
he was.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a Democrat.
He was like, he's like, I'd
He
go
even,
Democrat.
he's even
but-
given to he used to give to Bill and Hillary's campaigns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. He supported the Democrats. For
The problem is, like, at least the last election, 2016, was they already had their minds set up, like, made up.
But
They're like,
seriously-
Hillary is our
Bro,
horse.
you're not even
Barack
all the
got his turn.
blackouts.
Yeah.
Hillary it's her turn. We don't
Yeah.
care, Bernie. We don't care. And that was stupid
And-
on their part.
And it's not,
now
it's not even a
now we're
guess.
stuck.
It's
because of
literally
DNC.
been proven now.
Now we're stuck where we are.
The
yeah,
DNC
it's been
couldn't
proven.
fucking.
Did you hear about that, Dan? Where they're some of the people who were running like the chair of the Democratic Party and stuff afterwards, they're like, "Oh yeah, we did that. We're allowed to." Like,
Because she was their own.
yeah.
Yeah.
They saw Bernie as an
They're like, we
outsider.
don't have to
he didn't
follow
fully
your
he didn't
votes.
fully embrace the Democratic Party. So
Yeah.
they're like,
But
"Fuck you."
But the DNC
We're
couldn't
giving it
fucking
to our-
stand that motherfucker. They couldn't stand Bernie at all because people would be like on the fence about who to vote for, and he would come in with weed and I'm gonna pay for your schools and shit and take over that shit, and he really did. That's
It's
why
not
Trump.
that.
But
He
that's why
seemed to
Trump
care.
mentioned that. Yeah, that's
That's
what I'm
it,
saying.
like-
He seemed to care. He seemed to give people what they wanted. That's why they couldn't.
And
stand
he's been
his
doing
ass.
this shit for his entire life. Like they got photos
Honestly.
of him at the MLK marches when
Dude, that
fucking
nigga got a
he was in
fucking-
his 20s and 30s. Got arrested for marching and
So
shit. Like,
yeah, so
He
many.
got an
he's
arrest
been-
record as
he's
thick as a
been-
fucking binder, bro.
He's been doing this shit. Like he's not just a fucking
It's
mouthpiece
not all
up
of
there.
a sudden.
He's literally put in the
He's got
work.
the
He's put in his time. Like he actually deserves this shit.
That picture
and it's
that
just
he's-
sad that like now he's so old, like a lot of people probably won't even vote for him.
I mean,
because of
he
his
had
health and his age.
that heart issue.
Yeah, he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
It seems like he's okay, but I mean, yeah, that's a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, we're not going to vote for him because he had a heart attack.
The person who has the most experience, and that's him.
Yeah, dude, like, you gotta that picture. That picture stays with me when he's at the MLK walk and he's fucking being dragged and he's just like fucking like fighting back with a smile on his face. I'm like, that's pretty fucking dope.
I love Bernie, man.
Meanwhile, during the same year span of time, Hillary was supporting and
Defending a child molester for Walmart because she was one of the lawyers there. Was it Walmart?
Don't know. But
I don't. And she was supporting a Republican politician.
They have a tough job because
their job.
Yeah, like they have to be.
That's why a lot of people are giving like Kamala Harris shit because she was the prosecution, but at the same point, like, yeah,
It's like
defense attorneys, I feel like get more get more
They
leeway.
They seem sleazy.
No.
like-
no,
Well,
it's the other way around. I would say
I don't know.
prosecutors get more like, oh, they're just working for the state. Where the defense attorney's like, oh, come on, he's guilty. You're
I
trying
guess
to
it just
get a
depends on the
murderer
case.
off.
Like,
Yeah.
it's either, oh, you're helping the cops put away innocent people, or oh, you're helping guilty person get out. Like, it just depends on how you see
Yeah.
it.
But like most defense attorneys, like even in the media, like if you see like a show with like a defense attorney, the defense attorney's like all sleazy and he's like a greaseball and shit like that.
Breaking Bad, it's all good, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good example.
That's like the perfect example.
That is a perfect example.
But I don't know.
And I'm not gonna say there's not some like that, but
But that's every job. Not like
every job.
They're not
there's
the
a- there's a
only
crooked
ones.
one.
But with, at least for me, back in the 2016 election, I couldn't get with Hillary because I didn't believe her. I didn't believe a word she said.
Yeah.
It always like, oh, cool. So everything is from polling data. You don't have any opinions that aren't like it's. Every time she talked, I was like, oh, okay, someone wrote all this, which is kind of normal, which that happens.
Almost kind of like this is what I heard. Like I don't really know, but this is what I heard.
But it wasn't just her like opening speeches, even her answers, it's all rehearsed, which again, normal. But at least with Bernie, he seemed when he answered, he tried to care, and usually he tried to put data in,
And he would
then
try to-
people would get mad at him, like, "Oh no, you don't have time for that." He's like,
Right. And he would
"What, 'cause I
actually
explained my
another thing
answer?"
too about Bernie is he would actually like explain it so the common folk can understand what the fuck he's talking about. Like he would put it in simple terms that most people can understand and recognize.
Where's he from? From Brooklyn or the
Vermont.
Bronx?
Vermont.
He's from Vermont. I thought it was New
I
Yorker.
think that's right. Yeah.
I thought it was Vermont.
No, I think you're right.
He plays a role for Vermont, like he's a senator or something.
No. But where is he from?
I thought he was
Like born? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's from Vermont. I know he's like the what is it?
I don't
senator
think he's
for
in-
Vermont. But I think he's from Brooklyn originally, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, no idea.
That would explain a lot.
No, it just
Little gangster Jew.
I did nice.
Jesus.
I get it. I mean, dude, you gotta be
No,
tough,
like-
bro.
Like we, in a way, I can.
Yeah, he's from
understand where
Brooklyn.
People are.
Yo, he's from
New
Brooklyn.
York.
He's from Brooklyn, New York. See, a little gangster
There
Jew, bro.
you go. There you go.
You gotta get that shit.
I can understand it in some ways why people like Trump, why they wanted to vote for him, because they were on the side of like, oh, we want someone real. We want what they think is. He speaks off the cuff. Is he right?
The funniest
No,
thing is,
but like,
so many people say, "Oh, he's real. He tells it how it is." Blah blah blah.
He tells
He
it
is
how
the
he
biggest fucking con man
oh yeah,
of all. Maybe
That's
not all
his
time,
job.
but
He's a
he's.
sales
I'm not going
guy,
to give him
dude.
the title of all time con man, but he is such a big con man that he's never speaking it real.
He's
He's
gonna tell you
twisting
what
the
you wanna
truth.
hear.
He's twisting
No,
everything to
no,
fit
I
his
think he
agenda,
speaks the
whatever
real
helps.
as he sees it, which is
In his
which
own
is that
deranged
yeah.
mind.
Yeah, which is
sure.
that.
I don't even give him that credit. I feel like he knows what he's doing to a certain
I
degree.
think in some ways he does. I think in others he's just so him.
Dude, he has to
He's
have
senile.
dementia. Like he has so many signs
He's old.
of
He's so
dementia.
old.
but that's
Rambling,
actually not uncommon.
not making sense in his fucking
Dude,
speeches.
Biden's like that too. Have you seen some
Yeah,
of his stuff where
Biden's
it's
not-
like, oh man,
no.
like
we need to drop.
I feel
Biden.
bad for him because at this point it's like, dude, you need to go to the doctor. Like It's not even like, oh, it's not even I don't want you on the campaign. It's you need help because this is getting worse. Like people have been documenting from at least just the start of the campaign to now, just this, he's gone drastically down. They're like,
yeah, I've seen he's had his ups and downs. But at the same
I just
point,
feel bad for him.
Trump should be impeached for the same thing, not being fit for office.
And I
Exclude
think that
everything
deserves-
else.
Several
That,
means.
but I think that, again, at least for me, I want medical evaluations. I want all, I
Not
want it
from his
proven.
doctor that said he,
Oh, no.
he was completely healthy and saying he
Exactly.
was like 200 pounds. You're like, bro, get the fuck out of here. He's not 200 pounds. Look at that man.
No, I want.
I know
want
what
it
you that
third
healthy.
party. Like
This fucking idiot thinks that working out, you have a limited energy
limited
source.
supply of
Yeah,
energy.
and he doesn't want to waste it by working. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
yeah, that McDonald's will really.
Oh my god.
A limited energy supply.
No, not even with Trump. But that's at least with Trump. I felt
Bone
in his
spurs.
own way he cared more than Hillary.
No,
Hillary, yeah.
what are
No,
you
he
talking
didn't.
about? All
Yeah.
he cared about was promoting Trump, dude.
Yeah, he cared about doing that more than Hillary cared
No,
about
About anything
anything
else.
He did not. He didn't even think he was gonna win the
he
presidency.
literally
Yeah, I
just
know.
When he won, he was like,
Because there was no way.
He just
literally-
wanted that
literally,
title.
There was no way
Yeah.
that Hillary could fuck it up, and she did.
Yeah.
How stupid you have to be? There was no way she
Fucking
could fuck
Florida.
it up, and she
Dude,
did.
that was
I was
glorious.
like, you son of a bitch.
like,
that
I was-
Hillary meme.
dude, the robot malfunctioned for a
At
second.
the
That
end-
one when she does.
Yeah.
At the end, when it was Hillary
When
and
she
Trump, I was like,
danced.
please. I was like, please
That's
just vote
the
for Hillary
whitest
so we don't have to
grandma
ever
move
see Trump, dude.
What?
Literally, towards the end, I was like, please just vote Hillary so that way we don't have to see Trump. And then everyone's like, yeah, dude, it's fine. There's no way she can lose. I was like, there's no way she can lose.
I remember because
And
we were all,
Dude,
we were
my
all,
heart,
we were
my
all
heart
at my
was
house.
beating so
Yeah.
deep, dude.
Like me, you, Tyler, Mike wasn't like with us at that time, sadly. But
It was at the first house.
we were all
and
chilling.
we saw,
He was
we saw
We were watching it. We're like, dude. I remember talking to Tyler like the night before because or
We
maybe
were
not the
gonna-
night before, but like when
weren't
we
gonna
voted.
we might not even watch it. We were like, yeah, no, we already know how this is
I just
gonna
remember
go.
talking to you like around election day because I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, are you voting?" And you're like, "Yeah." I don't remember if you told me who you. You might have been like secretive about it. You're like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about who I voted for," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
No,
Maybe
I
that was
said
somebody.
I didn't know. I was still like,
Oh, okay.
I don't,
But like, I was like, and we were talking about like, holy shit, like, do you think he has a chance? And you're like, no, but like, it would be crazy, like. And I mean, we were talking about like the fucking idea that
I remember when he
and then
won.
we sat
When he
down.
actually
We
won.
sat down. We were watching the fucking election and
and
shit.
things kept getting worse. Like
We were like, we cracked open a beer
we got
just to like
quieter
chill
as it went
Yeah.
on. We were like,
And it was like, oh, she's got like a nice lead. Oh, he's doing pretty good in some states. Like everybody on CNN, they
Was
got their
talking shit
they got
about
the
it, too.
map, and they're like, oh, like blah blah blah.
and they're
The
they were
polls,
joking too.
the
So
yeah,
were
oh
we,
yeah.
and
They're
then all of a
like,
sudden-
oh, the polls are showing like Hillary should get this and blah blah. And then it got to like it was getting close in some of like the Rust states or whatever the fuck. What are they called? The
Flower
Rust
states?
Belt.
the Rust Belt. The
Yeah.
Rust Belt.
It got a little dicey. Like he won a lot of states that they thought she might.
But everyone was like, okay,
Everyone's
California will make
she's
up
still,
for that.
She's still got California. She's Florida. We
Florida,
gotta figure
whatever.
out, she got
And then Florida
she got
changed.
California. She
Yeah.
got California, and we're like, oh, okay, that's good. And then
That's-
we got to Texas or got to Florida, and then it was like, oh.
Florida.
You won Florida, and then you see all this CNN. Okay, well, hold on. If she wins this and this, and then if we
They
got
were
early
actively
ballots,
like,
They were trying to
trying
find
they
so
were
hard.
literally, they were
You
literally.
literally saw the
Florida.
map. Just-
Florida
yeah.
was your main man, bro. You didn't suck its dick and you lost the fucking.
Florida
election.
literally
you
changed
didn't go
the
big,
whole
half the
thing.
state.
That's,
No,
that's what I'm
why-
saying.
That's why I thought she lost a lot of those Rust Belt states
Yeah.
because she didn't go to any.
That's
of
what I'm
them.
Yeah.
saying. If
They
you
were,
were,
Oh, I
they were
win.
traditionally Democratic or leaning Democratic states, and she just didn't
And
go.
she avoided
Trump
them.
went.
they even said that if she would have won Florida, she would have won. If you knew that that's what was going on,
Florida was the tipping state.
if
It
you
usually is, yeah.
yeah.
if you knew that that's where the tipping state was, I'd be sucking that dick 24/7 just to make sure I got the presidency. I would be on that bitch.
That's the state that beat Al Gore. Like you
But-
got to get on that.
but
Yeah,
you-
dude, when that
you wanna go
state
to every
changed
state. You
and
wanna
turned
make
red,
them feel
But
like
that
And
was,
Trump won.
but Florida,
the memes,
I would
bro.
be going. I'd be circling back after
Gold.
every state. I'd be going back to
Gold.
Florida just to make sure that they didn't forget
Just to
my
say
name.
hi.
Yeah, what's up? Kiss a few babies, shake a few hands. We good. Move on. Come back around next trip. Hey, what's up? Another few babies, few hands. Keep moving.
help a few Cubans off the
Yeah.
boats.
I just remember like when it
Couple
when
of
we finally
dabs. Couple dabs.
Dabs.
it finally kind of like
At the school.
settled in all of our brains like at the same time. We're like, oh my god, like he's getting close. Like, like how crazy would it be? Like, yeah, right, okay.
President Trump. We're like,
I'm sorry, what? Wait,
That's
Florida? Wait, hold on.
That's the only part where we.
That's not right.
That's the only part I remember is us getting quiet.
It just got quiet,
Yeah.
and we just started drinking more.
And
Like,
we were just like, no. And
this is actually happening.
all I remember
me looking
is
at Dan.
me-
I can't see red very well, but is that one red too?
No, all I remember is me and you, as the night went on, we started leaning
Right,
like.
we were like sitting back, and you're like, hold up, this is actually.
Yeah,
Wait, hold up.
Yeah,
I think when I saw
we're
It's
like,
a the gamer pose.
when I saw the point of no return, I think I got up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go kill myself, and I grabbed like the bottle of Jack and went into my room.
I googled tickets to Canada.
I literally looked. There's a website after he won.
Yeah.
There was a website. I actually went on it, and I was like wholeheartedly
Real estate prices,
serious about it.
like-
Yeah, there was like a cheap ass house like on a fucking mountain on a cliff, and the ocean was there in Canada. I forget where it was.
Canada?
Dan's favorite suicide spot.
I was like, I'm gonna get that house.
there. You're here to win.
It was like 80,000, 100,000 for like this little ranch on like this on a cliff on a mountain in front of the ocean and somewhere in Canada. And I was like, I'm gonna.
Courtney's like, the fuck? You got me living in this place then?
No, he almost hit me in the head.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
I
complain
heard
about
the
your
whoosh go by my ear.
Sorry, I was getting very
Very heated
into
here.
it about my Canada house that I almost bought.
Which we should have, by the way, because it was
Canadian.
gorgeous.
Canadian.
Yeah.
America's hat.
That was the funniest. That was the funniest thing ever. As we started seeing it get closer, we're just like, oh fuck, dude.
They're America's beanie. Like,
I remember like 2 weeks before we were talking about like, oh, President Trump, ha ha ha, that would be so funny. That'd be hilarious. And then Tyler, imagine he won. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Tyler.
It's like, that's never gonna happen, dude. Get the fuck out of
dude,
here.
no, don't say that. They're gonna come for me. It was you.
You rigged the polls.
You jinxed us.
Russia rigged the polls.
Arizona straight up rigged the polls. Like they announced it too.
We
Did you-
cheat, bro.
did you
The
hear
polls
about
or
that?
the election?
The like for the voting here in
Election,
Arizona,
right,
they
Oh, yeah.
altered it, and the chairman of it literally admitted it through court, and we had enough time to redo it, but we decided not to. And I was
It's
like,
not convenient for them.
yeah, of
Same
course
thing with
not.
George Bush. Remember his fucking
His
his brother was like the
Jeb.
senator at one of the
fucking
states.
fucking Jeb. Who the hell names their kid Jeb? Like, what a poor
Jebediah?
bastard.
His name was
Jebediah.
his name was fucking
He
Jeb.
ran for president.
Yeah, it was Jeb.
He was running for president.
Dude, I don't
Yeah.
pay attention with
Dude,
people
it's
that
like they were
fucking
trying to
stupid.
spell
Jeb
Jebediah
Bush.
and just quit.
Did you ever see? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Halfway through.
Kinda
Isn't he like bigger too, like than the
Jeb?
rest? Yeah,
Was
Jeb
it
Bush
like-
or
No,
no?
he's skinny. Did you ever see that
There
clip
was
of
one.
him when he was running for president and he was at like I don't know, some kind of conference room and he was talking to these people and he said something and it was like dead quiet and he's like, please clap.
Yeah.
He literally sat there. He's like,
Yeah.
please clap. And there was like,
Yeah, everyone was like pity clap.
if you haven't seen it, you need to. It's hilarious. it's fucking
His
hilarious.
face
Please
at-
clap.
I thought
He
said
literally
it-
just looks defeated. Like he
Yeah.
says, he's like, "Oh, this is a good punchline, a good one liner."
no one
and he says it,
cared.
and it's fucking dead. And he's like, "Please clap." And he just looks defeated, bro. And everybody is just
Oh
like,
my god, that's
No,
so
'cause
bad.
it's
hilarious.
His face is literally like, I'm stuck doing
Yeah.
this until they vote me out, but somehow I keep getting enough votes,
he
so I
looks
have to
so
keep going.
he just looks so defeated and downtrodden.
Oh, it's so funny.
I
Beautiful.
felt bad for him because I was just
Ah.
like, dude.
But then you remember he's a Bush, and you're like, he probably deserves that.
Then you remember he's a Bush. What a dick.
You mean one of our political families that we apparently don't have, even though
The
Bush and,
dynasties.
like,
Yeah. The Kennedys, the Bushes,
And then,
what was the other one?
something
Clintons.
something Chelsea Clinton is gonna run eventually.
No,
It's like,
I hope
go
not.
They said Kim
Way.
Kardashian was gonna run, and that's some bullshit right there.
Dude, at
Kim
this point,
Kardashian
I'd
can spell
vote
her
for Kim
fucking
Kardashian
name.
just to watch the
Don't you
madness.
fucking dare.
Kanye 2020.
Dare.
Just
Never.
watch the madness.
No, you know who we need to vote for? We need to vote for Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Can you imagine
No.
each fucking debate is going to be with a SmackDown ring in the middle? Fuck yeah.
No.
Do you
would-
smell
Sorry.
what America is cooking?
I would be so down for that.
I just watched it.
No,
I just
Bourbon
watched it.
Supreme.
Please clap.
Bourbon
Yeah.
Supreme. That's the candidate.
Vermin Supreme 2020, man.
Bourbon
Awkward as
Supreme.
fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so.
it is.
Isn't it so sad?
It is.
He just looks so defeated. He's just like, he literally like slumps. He's like, please clap.
Please clap.
Let me see.
That's him.
Sorry, audio podcast. maybe visual podcast can
No,
get this.
we need to
but-
put that video in there.
Let me see.
Get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world.
Oh my god.
Look at that. Look at that. How defeated. He literally slumps. Please clap.
That's so bad. Please clap.
That's bad.
I'm sorry. I'll never
Sad
do that.
Mr. Rogers looking at us. He's
Seriously, he's got the sweater vest on.
It ain't no beautiful day in that neighborhood, bro.
no.
If you gotta
Trolley didn't come by today.
No,
That's so bad.
yeah.
what are we even talking about?
No,
I don't
seriously
know.
though.
We've gone
Wait,
so.
yeah.
It
So
doesn't.
far,
It doesn't
we're
matter
into
because
politics.
it doesn't matter because Tyler brought up a good point. Vermin Supreme. We need to make sure
Oh,
Vermin
God.
Supreme gets in there.
Hey, if I
He
get my
keeps
pony,
Free
running
ponies for
too.
every American citizen.
Yeah, zombie power.
Zombie power, ponies.
I don't know what that is, but I want it.
Exactly. And then we all turn into fairies. Apparently, I don't know.
Hey.
Let's go.
I was with him until the peyote kicked
Like
in. I was
gay
like,
fairy?
"What the fuck?"
Because he's gay, isn't he?
I don't know.
Supreme
Dude.
He's gay.
He wears a boot on his head. I don't
I'm
know what
pretty
the
sure
fuck
it came
he
out
is.
he was gay.
Where's the
He's
two-
gay?
I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
I remember hearing, I think he's
He
gay.
wears like 5
Power of
ties
Google.
and he wears a boot on his head. I don't know how to take him.
What do you mean?
I mean, you take him in the back, I think.
Like, I don't know. He's not that far away
Fuck
from
you, bro.
He's not that far away from other politicians. Like,
No, he's not.
they're just afraid to wear the boot.
They're just afraid to wear the
That's
boot.
literally it. He speaks more intelligently than they do. He has policies. He has plans. They're ridiculous, but he has policies and he has plans.
Yeah.
Like,
They're ridiculous. Most of them are. I get it. Do I? No, I don't have my vape. My vape broke.
Damn.
Sorry. Quick
yeah,
vape
Vermin
interruption.
Supreme.
Sorry, guys.
I'm serious
All
telling
right,
you, dude.
2020. What do you honestly think is gonna happen? 2020.
Explosions.
I'm
We're
honestly
fucked.
saying. I'm honestly
so-
saying Trump.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I
If he's
think- I think
serious,
Trump-
no.
not
Like
that I
his
vote
ass
for
needs to
him.
be impeached.
I
Like
do-
if he's
I do
already
really
on the
wanna
chopping
say-
block, he shouldn't be able to run again. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Not that I vote for him, but that if it let's say
He
the
ran for every party.
Who?
Vermin Supreme.
Yeah, he's running for
Not
every party.
surprised.
Independent, Republican, Democratic, and then Libertarian.
Dead libertarian?
No, and
And
then
Libertarian.
Oh, I
yeah.
think it's a dead libertarian.
No,
And his real name is Vermin Love Supreme.
Yeah. And he holds
I
a
didn't know that was his
toothbrush.
real name.
Love Supreme. Oh, man.
Yeah, Vermin
Good
loves.
setup.
Who are his parents?
And he,
Right.
and he holds a huge toothbrush. He says the biggest problem with America is gingivitis. There's seriously a video where he's like, gingivitis,
Yeah,
is the
gingivitis.
number one cause for all tooth decay in America. We need to stop this.
You know what that is?
Dentist.
That's a platform, guys. Like, it's ridiculous, yes, but he has actual talking points.
He
Like,
knows.
but 2020, I genuinely think if Trump doesn't get impeached, he's probably gonna win.
Yeah, probably.
Just based on how the Democratic Party, this is just me. What I've seen, I don't see besides like Bernie or Andrew Yang.
Wang.
No, it's Yang.
Yeah.
Yang. Damn
Okay, I was right.
Wang.
Yang Gang.
No, but
I actually really like
yeah.
Andrew Yang. I'm just
Yeah.
afraid he's another Bernie where he's not going to get the support.
That's
They're
what
like,
I'm
you're too
worried about.
young, you're
They're
too
not- they're
Asian.
what's her name? Kamala Harris.
Persuasion.
Kamala Harris
too
and Elizabeth
Asian?
Warren, I think.
They're the new Hillarys, and I'm like, guys,
I really
they're
like
not-
Elizabeth Warren, though.
I
cannot
I
stand
really do.
Elizabeth Warren.
I don't.
I wouldn't
I
mind
really
like her.
Elizabeth Warren. I wouldn't mind.
I
it.
think
I like her.
she's. I think she's.
she is Indian.
She has a plan,
She's native.
though, bro. Like
She's
she
not
literally-
native.
She's
she
native.
literally has like a plan.
I'm more black than she is
I'm
native.
down for that shit.
She has native.
Can you speak on any of the plan? I generally don't know.
I'm a little intoxicated at this point, so not.
So you're perfect for it. You can trump
Very
it. Let's
clearly.
do this.
It's gonna be great.
No, but like I don't know. I've seen some of the debates and shit. Like anytime she's asked a question, she's not just like talking in like general terms. She's literally like actually laying out like we do this, we'd cut this, we do this, we do that. And yeah, maybe it's a little hard to navigate and get that to work that way, but she at least has like an actual game plan on what she wants to do.
But that's the point. When you're electing a president, you need to be something that's within the realm of possibility. Not that you're just gonna.
Well,
make
I'm
all
just
these-
saying. Look at the other option. Trump doesn't know shit about what the fuck he's talking about. She actually, maybe some of the stuff she's talking about is a little lofty, only because not because it's not doable, because it's gonna be hard to get the support to back up all these things she's wanting to do. It's perfectly fine and perfectly doable, But to get that kind of support, that's where
That's
where the problem comes.
Yeah. No, but I get you about the whole Trump thing. He doesn't know what he's doing. I'm like, yeah, I respect that. I get that.
But I'd be happy.
So what's this?
With a few
So
of
what's this guy? I haven't heard too much about Yang. So tell me about him.
He's the one with the he wants to give it's
$1,000.
like universal health care, but it's for everyone. You get a stipend.
That's what universal usually means.
But you get it's I said it wrong. You get like a stipend every month. It's he's trying to head off at the pass like the coming robotics because he's worried about people not having jobs. So he's trying to get the ball rolling with people being able to support themselves and
To
still
acclimate them to technology.
yeah, because he's like, hey, he says all the time, he's like, hey, this is coming, whether we like it or not. This is what's going to happen. There's still going to be people around. We have to provide for them. This is a way I think that could. That's.
I saw this video the other day where it was like a fast food restaurant, and it was completely robotic and automated, where it was like a fryer or something, and it was being moved by like a robotic arm to like stir it, and then it had like the other toppings on the side, and it was dumping the toppings into the thing as it was stirring, and it was like, and everybody in the comments tagging Andrew Yang, like, go get him. Andrew Yang is not gonna be happy when he sees this, like, blah, blah. It was fucking hilarious because it was. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool that you can do that, but at the same point, it's just like, oh, God.
He was just was he a doctor? Or it's just
We're gonna be like the
Robot
fat
or
people in
something.
WALL-E, where
I
we
don't
all
much.
depend on robots to do our shit for us. We're
But
just
he-
gonna be fat blobs on hover chairs.
will be. We're just missing the hover chairs. Like,
Right?
Yeah.
Once
Yeah, when
technology-
obesity is
Yeah,
glorified.
seriously.
once technology catches up.
No,
obesity is already glorified.
He even
Oh, no,
says
it is, definitely.
that he was just like
And
a
it shouldn't
normal
be.
guy. He doesn't really want to do the politics part. He's trying to. He thinks he can help with that part. And he's even said, he's like, even if I lose, like, I hope people take my platform and try. And
So what
figure
are
this out.
What is he planning to do about the school system, or what are any of them planning to do about the school system?
Yes.
More bulletproof backpacks.
No.
Yeah. Stay afraid.
So not solving not solving any of the education problems.
Oh,
Nope.
Again,
No one solved the
we're
education
not experts.
problems.
Like we
What
gotta
education problems?
Exactly.
refresh.
The fact that you can't spell confrontation, we had to tell you on the podcast 3 times that it's not how you spell it.
Don't hate.
Don't hate. The fact that when we were doing the ad, it took you like 3 tries to do the script because you went all fucking retarded on us. Are you talking to Lily?
Yes.
Why?
She
doesn't like you.
She doesn't blink.
She doesn't like
So
you and she
fucking
doesn't
weird.
blink.
Yes. She doesn't
She'll
like
like
you.
half blink, just enough to
I
wet
don't
the
blink
eye.
either. It's fine.
She doesn't like you. She's trying to size you up to see how she can kill you.
It's alright.
Trust me, she does that. She gets all snuggly with one of the animals and then all of a sudden, dead. I'm serious. That's what happens.
Leave her alone. No, but so you like Yang?
I've liked a little bit of. Most of it is from like memes and shit, and like the younger pop.
From memes?
I swear to God, like I haven't
He's
really
embraced
looked into
that.
him. I haven't really.
He's embraced
Yeah,
that.
like that's
He's
what I
not
like about
I don't
him.
know what to do. He's like, no.
He seems very like
approachable.
into
Like,
yeah, which I think is very nice. But I would have to look into him a lot more to see. My problem is again, it feels like yeah, maybe he's a great candidate, maybe he's the best candidate. I just feel like they're not going to pick him. They're not going to nominate him again. So it's like why, is he worth voting for in the end? Because
Yeah, because your vote matters and it is your voice.
I get that. I'm just saying it feels like it's another one of those situations that I can tell from the start. Like, oh, buddy, I'm sorry. They're not going to pick you. It's like
and that's the problem.
it's
with
like watching the fucking The Bachelorette or something. You're like, oh, I really want them to pick Chase or whatever, but
The fact that you said
they're gonna pick.
Bachelorette,
Of course, they're gonna pick Derek. Like, look at him.
Derek, that's
Yeah.
scary as
Just-
fuck.
You had the
With his
values,
spiky hair.
Andrew. You had all the right qualities, but
He's the nice
I'm
guy
sorry.
that listens. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm quiet. No, I haven't heard much of Andrew Yang, so that's why I was asking.
I pulled his website up.
Who, Yang?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
The Freedom Dividend.
Yeah, it's called the Freedom Dividend.
No one understood what he went all
It's
Alabama on us.
called Freedom Dividend by Dom Dibadome.
Doug Dibadome.
Dog Dibadome.
You legit went Kevin Gates on this. Please speak English.
The freedom dividend. There you go.
Yeah,
Thank you
freedom.
for
Good?
it. Keep
Freedom
going.
All
dividend.
right. Yeah.
For like a grand.
It's a universal basic health care. Oh,
Technical difficulties, issues, guys.
right.
Okay, tell us stuff about the website.
Yeah. So it's so basically it's a universal basic income of $1,000 a month for $12,000 a year for every American adult over the age of 18. This is independent on one's work status or any other factor. So that's cool.
It's
and then
everybody.
right.
Okay, so how would you guys feel about that, though? Yeah, how would you guys feel about paying
I'd be
those-
worried about inflation.
How would you guys feel about the fact that you'd be paying your taxes for someone to get free income every month?
We already do. We call them politicians.
And most of the welfare system.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
But that means that
from my
those
point-
that help would go down, right? The
Yeah.
welfare systems and all that
Yep.
stuff would start going down.
I think that's this whole
Or
thing where
be
he's like,
erratic.
hey, you wouldn't have these and kind of pay for it in a way. It offset a lot of it. He's like, hey, everyone
So now
gets
what if the
$1,000,
people?
like,
So now what if the people still want the welfare and stuff like that, even though they're getting that income?
They
every
can
month?
still get it. They think they should still be able to do it, and then but they have to apply again. Now
I don't think they should,
We have
though.
to add that included.
But a lot of people abuse that system too.
That's what I'm saying.
all
I don't
the
think
time,
they.
yeah.
I don't think they should get the welfare system. It's either you get the income or you get welfare, one or the other. It shouldn't
Yeah,
be
but
both.
sometimes you get more than just $1,000 with that. So even with just getting the freedom dividend is not going to be enough.
The salary the salary I feel should be based on how many kids you have. Same principles as we would normally, but for like the welfare system, it would be the same thing, except it would be that that monthly income.
Yeah, but if anything, all they can do is that if normally you were getting $1,500 in food stamps, but then now that starts and you're getting 1,000, we'll just give you $500. So you're still at your $1,500 that you're getting, but now this
$1,500.
because remember they're abusing the system all the time. So if you give them less actual welfare, but they're still getting the $1,000, which they can easily use for anything that they want because it's independent on based on what they want to use it for. Yeah. The welfare ones are going to be a little bit harder for them to abuse because there's less for it to for them to do so. So if they're going to abuse it, they're going to abuse it only a little bit, but that's still going to increase the economy in a good manner.
for a little bit.
You know what I thought
until
was
everyone
ridiculous?
raises the rent by $1,000, because why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
That's the problem I'm having with it, because I'm like,
Oh, the
it's,
inflation.
it doesn't, because why? If you're a landlord or you're a business, why wouldn't you just be like, hey, this snack is $3, now it's $13? Like, because everyone else does $1,000, and then everyone's right back in the problem. That's one of the things I was thinking about. I'm like, this would work if
We had
prices were
limitations.
stagnant. If they didn't go up or down at all, it would work. It really would. It would be help, but that's not how it works. I don't want it to be stagnant. I would like. It's a good idea. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, because then you cut into, because if you made it stagnant or if you made like a cap that only certain businesses can raise up the prices a certain amount, you'd be cutting into their profits. You'd be cutting into their profits and everything. Wow.
I'm not shedding a tear
I know.
for some businesses.
No, I know, but you got to see it from their point of view too, at that aspect.
No, I do.
How they
It's
would
just
see it.
I'm worried that people will be put in the
Because-
exact same place or worse.
What if it
It's
was
like, hey, you got the
limited?
free money,
Because
and then they're
it's-
like, everything's $1,000
Because of that-
more. And
because of
now
that point that you said
now
that you
there's
weren't-
no wick or anything.
Because to that point that you were saying, you're not shedding a tear for a business, but what if it's a mom and pop business that they have to get capped? They can only make a certain amount of money because you're capping them from being able to charge people
No,
more.
that's fair. I don't want it.
Do you think
I don't want it
that's
to be capped.
fair?
No, what you're saying is fair. What?
Sorry, we're looking at a picture
Perfect
from.
for what we're talking about.
Oh,
Explain it, Courtney.
No, it's just a little picture here that says only political quiz you will ever have to take. It says do you believe people need rules? And the no says anarchist and the yes says slave. It's kind of perfect for what we're talking about.
Yep.
with just the extremists on
Yeah,
each side.
on each side.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
I can't remember where that's from.
KMFDM. Song called "Free Your Hate." Yeah.
I don't know. I think the whole there's got to be a way to solve it. Then if we can't do his idea because of inflation, what is another
I didn't
solution?
say
that we
you
can come
can't
up
do
with?
it. I
It
just
just
said
wouldn't
you have
work
to
as
be
well.
careful.
But you can limit it. You can
Limit
limit
what?
to what that $1,000 used for.
But that wouldn't stop the inflation problem,
And plus, that would hurt the economy.
and that would hurt the economy. Yeah.
Yeah, then what would you suggest that they do for
I have
it?
no
though?
clue. That's what I was. That's why I was outsourcing.
I think that $1,000 is still a good idea. Would help people catch up with bills and things like that.
I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I think it's a great
They
idea.
could raise up, rents and all that stuff too. But that's when they can work on finding different sort of things to stop it. There's got to be, I think there should be certain caps out there for certain inflations, unless it's like when it comes with like certain fruits and stuff like avocados or bananas and a lot of stuff that we're outsourcing. If there's a shortage, then it's harder to have what they have, so they're going to increase the prices for those, and they do that now. Yeah,
They do that now. Remember when you couldn't go to a bar and find a fucking lime or a lemon because they were like all shorted out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like all the bars by Chase, you couldn't find a fucking one with a lemon or lime. Or
yeah,
anything like that. They're like,
it was
"Oh,
all
we don't
shorted
have
out.
We don't have that at all. I don't know. I think the $1,000 is still a great idea, but like Tyler said, there's no way that wouldn't end up being a problem with the inflation. The inflation would cause it to just put us back in the same bullshit that we were in a minute ago. It wouldn't really solve anything.
It would for like a month or two, and then people would start raising stuff gradually.
Yeah. What do you think, though, Tyler? What do you think would be a good solution?
I don't know, but we have to do something because automation is coming.
Yes.
Just how it is. Like, there's going to be too many people because our birth rate in America is actually going down, but in other countries it's still going up.
Yeah.
Well, even if every birth rate goes down, if most jobs are automated, that's still way too many people. Like, even then we're like, okay, we're gonna stop having babies, or we institute something where okay, only a certain amount of people can have kids. Still, for a long time, there's gonna be too many people.
So did they say which jobs are going to be
pass away.
automated? Did they say which jobs are going to be automated first, or which ones are going to be focused?
Amazon.
Amazon's definitely going towards that. I mean, shit, with the drones just delivering things. Imagine spreading that out now. They don't need to.
They don't even need drivers anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shit.
What other ones do you think are going to be automated right away?
Of course,
Walmart.
Any kind of low
Call center
low
jobs
wage,
for sure.
yeah,
Call
any
center
kind of
jobs for sure.
low wage work will be automated because that's going to save.
You think
the
they could do
company's
that with
money,
cooking?
And then
Cooking, yeah.
You think they could do that with cooking, like
Yes.
fine dining restaurants?
yes,
I don't see that being automated.
Yeah. I
can't see fine dining being automated.
Fine dining, no, it wouldn't be automated, but it would be so saturated with so many like chefs trying to get a position that you'll see a lot of them losing jobs left and right constantly, regardless. Like he mentioned earlier, the machine that was literally putting all the ingredients in and mixing everything up. I've seen machines that were, able to make pho. I've seen some machines just making like sushi rolls and things like that. You click what you want and it's there. Certain countries have like vending machines where you can make a whole pizza. Makes you a whole damn pizza right there in the vending machine.
I want that vending machine.
Yeah, and it cooks it and everything, and you see it happening, and it,
Seems like
you
we
select what
find
you
one of
want.
those. Have one of those here.
they're expensive. They some places do actually have them.
They're expensive.
No, there's places that do have them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like here, not just over there.
I don't know. I just don't see that fine dining would be automated because of the fact that like all the finesse that goes with it, all the creative, like the creation about it. I don't think that
A computer can do that.
seriously.
You're
You
just drizzling
call it
something and tossing it on
creativity,
top.
You call it finesse, They're just like, okay, we can program that into it.
I don't
and you
think you
wouldn't
can.
know.
I don't think you
You
can
wouldn't
program
know.
it. I don't think you can.
It'd all be
program
on the
it.
back. They just have some dumbass. Oh, I cooked this. You didn't cook it. It's all robots. You can just say you did.
I
How
don't
would
know.
you know?
I'm not saying I would know. I'm just saying I don't think you can. I don't think
That's one job.
What?
That's one guy. Instead of him cooking and doing all this stuff, no.
It's not one guy. It's a brigade
one
of
guy.
guys. It's a
one
brigade
guy.
of guys.
That's all they would need. You'd have the business owner. Oh yeah, I cooked it. No.
Oh.
Then when it comes to like the flavor of the food and stuff,
What if it
like
tastes
that could be
better?
more of a challenge. But yeah, if you have
What if
the
it's more
correct
accurate and it tastes
ingredients
better?
that you
Then holy
need,
shit.
the computer can easily do it every single time effortlessly. Perfect. While a chef, they're going to put a little bit more salt than they did with the last plate they did. It's not going to be the exact amount every single time. Doesn't
But
matter
not
if you're
every
Gordon
cut of
Ramsay.
steak or every cut of fish is going to
It's
have
the
the same
same.
acidity,
No.
have the same density.
Every-
It's going to be
Yeah, but
different.
they-
I know.
And I know
Yeah,
this.
but they
Yeah,
could.
but-
They could make up for it.
And I
Yeah.
know this sounds dumb, but even stirring ingredients together, if you stir it a certain way, the flavor changes.
Mhm.
Believe
But
it or
you're
not,
acting like we couldn't program it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can program it that far. I don't think you
Really?
Yeah,
can
you
program
can.
it that,
Yeah,
that
you
far.
pour water before this. Hit setting number 2. Now it's going
I
to
know
pour
you can
this
program.
before water.
I know you can program it pretty far, but I don't think you can program it
Have
that
you
far.
ever eaten something out of a can?
Yeah.
That's all automated.
Yeah, but it's not good.
Neither is certain foods that people think are great because they're made by chefs.
No, I'm just.
Ah.
No. I'm just saying, but there's no effort in that food that's canned. There's no effort. You get what I'm saying? There's like no
That
effort.
doesn't matter. If it tastes good and it looks good, people won't care. They might care for a little bit, but they
Does
won't.
it look good though? Think about it.
You don't know. No, I'm not saying that they can, but like
Oh no, I'm talking about.
they
out of the
won't
can.
care.
I'm talking about out of the
They
can.
don't care.
I don't know.
We'll get to the point, because the whole thing will be, oh, you're at a restaurant, you're buying this or that. Do I want it cooked from this guy who it doesn't taste as good? Yeah, it's made by a human. Or do I go to this place? Yeah, it's automated, tastes better and it's cheaper. And it looks better, or it looks the same. Why
But
would you
will it
go
be
to that
cheaper
guy?
though?
Yeah, you will have to pay for a robot once, maybe a little maintenance, but it's going to be cheaper than. Why do you think everything's going automated?
With the
you-
constant use of that, you
Robots
probably
don't
have to
need
be paying a
healthcare.
lot.
Robots don't need healthcare.
No, true.
Robots don't get breaks. They don't get lunches.
Or wages.
Yeah, or wages. You pay up front once.
True.
That's easy. And then you have one guy come in once a month to do maintenance. That's cheaper. You close down the shop for a day, let him do the maintenance, you're done, and they run continuously for the next month. Like that's cost effective.
Just have a team in there to fucking clean them, shut them off, and that's it.
Team. You need a team. Your robot do that.
That's true.
Like,
Clean the ball. Yeah.
Couple Roombas.
yeah. Like
Just vacuuming everything.
No, like I'm with you that it's coming, but I like I said, I don't think you can program it that far. But it's just my opinion.
that's like we're like, oh, robots can't do art. There's something intrinsic with art. Like
No, I believe robots
maybe
can do art.
It's like maybe there isn't. Like
I believe that robots can do art. There's certain things that they like to create a picture. Yeah. It's easy.
wasn't there? Didn't someone recently in the past few years they made a robot, like a police robot, and it got out of their like little laboratory and it killed itself.
What?
Like it linked up to the internet and like freaked out and killed itself because it couldn't handle what it was like processing. So it purposely, I think it like went downstairs to the elevator, found the pond and dove itself in.
That's fucking
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
And then I don't know if that was the police one, but I think there was another police robot where, they were testing out like crimes to see how it reacted, and every one was lethal force. Like that's how it reacted because it was trying to stop the crime. They hadn't reacted where it's like, oh no, you can't just do that. Like
They didn't put
they're
that
still
programming in.
they're still working on it, but yeah, every time it was like, yeah, I would have
It just shoots you like 8 times
Yeah.
for jaywalking.
But that's what they were worried about. Like, yeah, that's the flaw because everything was.
I don't know.
We're getting there. That's
no,
the
yeah,
problem.
they're getting there for sure. But I think there's still going to be a lot of fucking flaws. Like we talked about this before, where people are talking about what is that place called, Boston Robotics, where they have all that, and they're like, oh, it's not going to be long before they completely take over and become the dominant. I'm like, I think you're overestimating where technology's at. I don't think that's going to happen for another 20, 30 years.
And that's nothing.
I know.
In the span of time.
Yeah, but
that's
a lot of
nothing.
people think it's going to happen like in the next 5 years. And I'm like, I don't think
I
it's
think
going to be.
automation will be around.
Yeah, automation
very,
for
very
sure.
soon. But
Yeah. But to give that thought about the artificial intelligence, to say that a robot or a machine is going to have the capability of learning faster than a human and learning all that, I think
They already
that's
do.
way too far out.
they process data
No,
way
it's
faster
not
than us.
far.
They process, but they don't process as fast. Everything's still based on 8085 processors. It's still there. It's still the same thing. The only difference is that you have more of them. That's why the computers can react better. That's why computers react differently, because
Okay.
they have more of them. But it's still the same basic processing.
Yeah.
And if one little piece breaks on that processor, everything goes. You can't do it. You can't perform that same task over and over. If one little processor works, if one 8085 code does not respond correctly once, everything fries.
Now,
Ever.
no.
Ever.
You think they can't get around that?
If they haven't yet, and 8085 has been the original coding, there's no
So
way.
they-
I don't
they
think there's
just-
gonna. I don't
no
think they're gonna go
fail-safe?
with it.
No, can't go. No.
I don't think
There's
they're
no
gonna-
way. Yeah.
Look how far our technology is. How they got
That's-
away from
You're
8085.
exactly right. Hey man, we'll never get past the buggy whipping horse. That's never gonna. We ain't getting.
I'm not
past
saying that, but we progressed from that. We're still on 8085 codes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We're not gonna move from 8085 codes for a while, and people think we're gonna do it in like the next 5 years, and it's not gonna happen. 8085 codes are still there, and they're gonna be there, and they're gonna be there for a while. I don't think we're gonna
Yeah,
move
man.
from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Buggy whips. You'll be there for a while.
Okay, well, prove me wrong.
Dude, I'm not saying that. How do we know they haven't made something?
They
faster than
haven't, because we're still going off of 8085s.
that? I'm not saying like in general use. I'm saying just they haven't made it yet.
In
We
every
have
use,
never. We have no idea what they
I don't
have.
know what
that
that
they
is.
haven't released.
even
yet.
even in what is it, Boston Dynamics or whatever. There's still the robot functions on 8085 communication.
Okay, I'm not. So you know where every place is using. How do you know they haven't designed one and they're still testing it?
I mean, if they're designing one and they did test it, it's not going to be there for a while. They don't know how to communicate with it other than 8085. That's the reason why it's stuck around. They don't know how to communicate with any other way. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Unless you find another bedrock code like 8085, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to keep doing the same shit. You
And
can
they
keep
will,
adding more.
and they
You can
will,
keep adding
and then
more.
in the next, and if it does,
But not in the next
but,
5
but
years.
but the problem is that what they're saying is what a lot of people are saying.
You
Is,
talk about 8085, the microprocessor.
yeah,
Microprocessors.
Okay.
Like Intel, the new Intels and stuff. It's just more 8085. That's all it is. It's just more of them.
Well, there's already 8086 already out and stuff.
8086 is just a slight derivative of that. It's still based on 8085 communication.
so it's better.
No, it's a slight derivative off it. It still works on the same language, 8085 communication and coding. It's still based off 8085 communication and coding. That's my point. That's my
But
point.
you're acting like, oh, there's a limit, and maybe there is a limit. But
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
think
there's a
you
limit.
can-
I'm not saying there's a limit. I never said there's a limit. I'm just saying it's not going to approach as fast as people think. That is my argument with that.
That's a limit.
That's not a limit. It's limitless. You can. I'm sure it's gonna grow to something much better and have a better bedrock code than 8085. It's just not gonna happen in the time span that people say it is. It's not gonna move that fast.
Maybe not.
That,
but
that-
it probably.
that's my point.
But everything
my
jumps. But everything jumps so far ahead. Like with that, I'm not. That we could have that breakthrough in any day,
We could, but it's more
and then all of a
unlikely.
sudden, it would make our phones, our computers, everything like, oh yeah, this is garbage.
I think that I don't think that it's gonna happen. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna happen as fast because, like you said, the breakthrough could happen any day, and you're absolutely right, it could, but the odds of that are not likely.
Yeah, odds of going to the moon, not likely. We did it once.
That's different. You spent 10 years on that.
Mm-hmm.
But no
And
one's
that was
focusing on
years
it, though.
ago.
But no one's actually focusing on improving that. I mean, there are people who are focusing on that, but they're trying
So
to.
there are people that are focused.
No, they're people that are trying to. They're people that are trying to improve based on what we already on the bedrock we have. They're not trying to come up with another bedrock, another type of foundation. That's what I'm trying to say. They're not working on another foundation. They're using the same foundation and they're building off of it. But my argument is that foundation, I believe, is very close to its max.
Okay.
I believe that it's very close to its max. But again, that's from my understanding.
No. But you think that they just add more microprocessors instead of having something else, right? So
Yeah.
do you think there's a maximum size? This is all technical stuff, sorry guys. But do you think there's a maximum size to our processors?
Maybe not a maximum size, but I think maybe a maximum capacity where you can program into those processors.
Okay. But that limits what they can do then.
For that foundation, yes. But I believe that another foundation could be found, but I don't think anybody's looking for a new foundation. I think they're just trying to add more or build off of the same bedrock foundation. And I think we're already almost to the limit of what that foundation can withstand.
Okay.
If you want to go to more processing like the way we see it, like for like the movies like Terminator or something like that, you would need another foundation, another completely new coding to be able to process things a different way, to make it learn, to make it adapt, to make it do that on its own without having to rely on someone to program it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion with that. But you don't think so?
Nope.
What do you think then? Tell me.
What? I think they've already started having that. Not like, it's already a supercomputer, but just basic stuff. I think they have ones that are already doing it, gathering basic sensory data and kind of, moving around the room. Basic sensory data, like Roombas and stuff. Like they already have that, so even with this base, they're already starting to build off of that. So I think we're closer than you think. Oh, hi.
That's a possibility. And I'm not saying that, like I said, I'm not saying I'm an expert and I'm a computer engineer or a software engineer or anything like that. I'm not. I'm just saying that's just, I guess that's just my thought on that. That was basically branching off of what Yang said, or what you guys said that Yang said. That he thinks automation is coming, and I agree with him to that extent. I don't know. That was just my little rebuttal there, I guess. Who else do we have as a good candidate that's coming up? Because I think we've all already established that Yang is pretty good. Am I right? Am I right? Is that what we established?
Trump?
Just kidding. Trump? Get the fuck out of here.
I just want to see if that would wake Dan up. I just wanted him to be on the other side of the couch over there, just all of a sudden raise up in righteous fury and slay you.
Listen, motherfucker! I think, I don't know. This one was a late one. How far are we in?
Almost hour 40.
That's not that bad.
Yeah.
We could stop it here.
Yeah.
Stop it here. Say what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we should probably stop it here. It's getting a little late. We all got works and stuffs.
Yeah.
Either way, thank you guys for joining us again at the ShawnCast. We appreciate it. We're going to try to schedule these out a little bit more frequently for you guys, but yeah.
Yeah, and we do want to also thank our special guest Lily for stopping
For
by and
meowing.
saying hi. Yeah,
Meowing periodically.
She was here in spirit with us.
And Mr. Microwave for when Courtney was cooking. We could hear the...
Yeah, I tried not to do that.
Yeah, so all the people on audio, you probably didn't hear it,
The
but
video, I apologize.
Yeah, you all heard it on that one.
Shoot.
That's gonna be a challenge for Dan here to fucking get that noise out. Maybe not. I don't know.
He's a whiz with tech.
All right, guys. Thank you again.